I love our yard, you know. It's an awesome place to hang out with my wife. When we first moved here 23-ish years ago, we sort of worked with what was already in the yard. Had a little pond, and I built a deck, and you know, there was a mountain ash tree and some big fir trees, and they were getting a little long in the tooth, so we had them removed, and then it seemed like a good idea to start over at that point.
And the grass wouldn't grow very well in the backyard, so it was always like hard to walk on in bare feet or anything, so they weren't very healthy. So it's time to go. There were no flower beds when we moved here at all. And so we just gradually made one and then made another and then made another, but they didn't really make sense. It was just kind of plunk things where you could fit them. And so I wanted something that had more rhyme, reason to it, you know, instead of it just being all over the place. I just love the sound of running water, and we had a very tiny preformed pond before that was here from the original owners, and I wanted to have more of a chance to garden in the water feature, so I wanted something larger with like a river and some falls to kind of make it look more natural. And I love my water feature. It's my favorite thing.
I'm not a big fan of staining or painting decks. The previous deck was a cedar deck, and I just left it go natural because I never wanted to stain it, and I liked it. It had a certain kind of look to it. My grandkids were getting slivers into their, you know, their feet, and you know, it lasted over 20 years with never putting anything on. I just pressure wash it, but this is kind of low maintenance. The virgin PVC product I thought was the best product. Didn't get a lot of heat in it. It'll last the rest of my life, and with the wood grain look, I think it ties in really nicely with the fence and other things. This is one, we just have one larger flat surface. Before there was a division in the middle, so it's stepped down.
But it was hard to fit like furniture on it when it was that many different levels.
And when you get old, you fall down a lot more. We wanted a decent sized path. We wanted a little seating area, and we didn't want concrete. So Shauna kind of picked the product we used, and you know, they brought the most deluxe packing unit I've ever seen to tamp the soil and put all the rock work in and all the stonework, and same for the barbecue area. And
in the front we had these horrible red paving stones that had this horrible pattern on it, and through the years of living here, they started to slide down to the road, and they were actually sticking off into the road because of the slope, and then suckers from the trees would grow in between them and push them. So we wanted something a little more sturdy that was going to stay in place and wider, because it was quite narrow. We use our yard a lot more. Yeah, and it's nicer to entertain, have people over. There's lots of space, a lot of seating areas for everybody to sit. Yeah, it's quite nice. We really enjoy it.
The fire pit and the couch out there is quite a excellent napping area for me. It's nice and quiet, the running water, a little bit of fire pit, you know. It's really nice and peaceful just to come out here and hang out, read a book, or just, you know, our son comes out, or our daughter, you know, they come and we just sit and talk on the couch, and it's like going camping without going camping. And
our grandkids fish for ducks for prizes in the pond. They love it. Our season's so short here that you want to really enjoy it while it's there, right? And so we spend a lot more time at home in the yard. You know, it's a little oasis.
We use the yard all the time. You know,
it's a great investment.
Out here. You know, it's no doubt it's a serious investment, but it was worth it.
And we love it even in the winter, because, you know, with the lighting and even with the snow, you can still come out and sit by the fire on a nice day, and, you know, it's still nice. All the people that work there are just wonderful at the Landscape Artists. We enjoyed having everyone come every day, and we get them Timbits and coffee and stuff, and we would have a great time. They were lots of fun, very knowledgeable, very efficient.
Yeah. They every day, you know, they'd have to pull down sections of fence, and they knew we had dogs, so at the end of every day, the fence sections went back up. You know, the road got cleaned up and swept. Everything was always tidy and put away at the end of every day. You know, there was always somebody here. You know, I think I counted like 20 tradesmen here in one day sometimes, you know, and they, you know, there wasn't waiting for someone to show up to do something. There was always something going on.
Yeah.
And they were all great. You know, all the foremen were great. You know, they would address if you had a concern, or, you know, they would try to address it immediately, right?
Yeah.
From the carpenters to the equipment operators, everybody was really, really, really good.
Our neighbors love our yard.
They loved the yard, and they were, I think they, from what I talked to the nearby neighbors, they were impressed that it didn't, all the construction didn't really impact them very much. Obviously there was noise, but with the cleanup at the end of every day, and there wasn't work trucks blocking anything. And
no, our neighbors kept checking in all the time to see the progress, because I think that a lot of them were as excited as we were of the work being done, and so we constantly had neighbors coming in the backyard and wanting to see what was going on, and they were quite excited as we were. I would tell anybody that needs to have their yard done to definitely give Landscape Artists a call. They're very knowledgeable, and they listen to what you want, and they're good at, if anything arises, it's easily dealt with, and they were fun to be around. It was an enjoyable process.
yeah, I would agree. Like, they were very conscientious, everybody. You know, that worked to not damage stuff that was already here, and to take good care of everything and make sure that things went smoothly and quickly. You know, like, a project this size to be done in 6 weeks is pretty good, I'd say. You know, there was no waiting or phoning people, where are you, why aren't you here? So it was very good. I'd recommend them to anybody.
And we have.
And we have.